Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Michael. I've been coding with AI for a long time, and I'm gonna put together a video right here to just show you guys my workflow. Now, first, let me show you some of the things that I've done. Um, so, like as an example, I made this, which is this like prediction market, right? Whatever you can go, you can like deposit money, you can buy different sides of these. These like are updated automatically. Like you can create accounts, whatever. Here's this other like startup idea I had. Whatever you can like download an actual app, right? It's pretty cool. But so, like I've been building for a while. And yeah, I don't know. I've been building for a while, right? Like I'm like I don't know how you define an expert. Like I'm probably not an expert, but like I know, but I've used it a lot, right? So today, what we're going to be doing is building my personal website. There's a few changes I want to make to it. Here it is, right? Sick photo coming up, right? Got some photos, right? Here's a little about me. Here's a timeline. It's supposed to automatically update every time I like do something new. You can expand things and view them, right? We're largely just gonna try to rebuild this, but I want to add a few things. Like I want to add like a stock ticker thing. Like I want to add something that shows, like I don't know, like what Apple stock closed at, whatever, or like what Bitcoin's current price is. Maybe I want it to be Bitcoin's current price and some top news headlines. I'm not quite sure how I'll do it, but let's see. Yeah, let's do it. Now, I usually have used Codex for most of my stuff, but I've switched to Cloud Code. So, like that's like I've just set up Cloud Code. So like there could be there could be things that go wrong, and I'll just work through them, and you'll see that process as well. So yeah, let's open up the terminal. Start up Cloud Code. Okay. I want to build a personal website. I wanted to include a timeline of my projects that I'm working on and about me, a photo, carousel, and some of the top headlines. You have access to, one, I'm telling it what to do, I'm telling it what it has access to. So it has access to my Vercel, which is like how you like host and deploy a lot of websites. And it has it via CLI. CLI, stands for command line interface, and it's a good way to give an agent like control of something, right? Is a CLI tool. Okay. Then I'm gonna tell it to use this like custom skill that I've created. Make sure. Well, actually, so first, before I do that, I'm gonna tell it to make a plan. In the plan, I'm gonna tell it to use the skill as well. But so it's good to like plan it out fully, because if you just send a prompt to the model, like for like a big task, without a plan, it can like get lost as it goes along, and like it'll end up doing something that's not exactly what you want it to do. So I'm gonna tell it to make a plan to do this, and then I'll tell it to do it. Now here at the end I said, and have the plan include using the IVG, the slash IVG, and so the slash means that it's a skill, right? So IVG stands for intent verification gate, which is this tool that I made. So that every time I send a prompt, a model like looks like the main model that I'm using spawns a subagent, which then like looks at the prompt that I sent. It defines my like intent, so what I meant to do, like what my goals are, what my goals aren't, and a plan like of action. And the main model doesn't get to see that. Wait, sorry, I'm saying something. Okay, so right here it's saying the live stock prices need an API. Super true. We could also like get them from like scraping some like websites. But let's just go with crypto for now. It'll be simpler. I'm gonna tell it to just make it look, or I'm gonna give it a screenshot of my current version. I don't know what that's, whatever. I didn't like that screenshot, so I'm actually gonna give it one more screen. Cool. So hopefully this should give me a plan back. What was I talking about? So I was talking about the intent verification gate. So you give so the sub agent, it makes these like artifacts, right? And it puts them in a folder, so they're saved. And then once the main agent completes its response, it spawns another sub agent. So it spawns like two separate sub agents respond by this process. The first one like defines the intent, it defines my intent. The second one grades what the agent did against the previously defined intent. And then if it doesn't like accomplish it, it tells the agent to go back and then keep iterating on its output until it like passes like I think I said like a 90% 95% complete. And I found that it's able to help like stop the amount that like my agents like reward hack, like kind of like lie to you, but like really it's they find like some way to like technically accomplish it, but it's not what you're going for, or they'll find, or like as they're going like since they have a certain context window, if the context window, like if you're working for like a full day on something and you build up like millions of tokens of context over the day, like Claude only has access to like 1 million tokens, so it has to compact the context, like basically generate a summary of it. And so like things can get lost along the way if it's like a bad summary. And so like this also helps if you're asking the agent to do something that takes a super long time. So it'll like go through millions of tokens of like input, like an output, and it'll lose track of what you wanted it to do. So this will help with that. So let's see what it's saying. I maybe want to put this in fast mode. Interesting. So right here, I'm just watching the thinking string. And I can see that it's trying to make some of these like artifacts that are part of the intent verification gate, and it's having errors 2 times, which is kind of weird, but it looks like it actually figured it out. So it should work. Yeah, I do find that the plan is useful in like to just get a really thorough execution. Because like if you're trying to have the model make it up as it goes, like as it goes along, it'll often work out, right? Especially if it's a pretty small task. But it really will, like, it'll get lost eventually, right? So some of the artifacts that I have it produce through the intent verification gate is like what my primary goal is, like what are my explicit requests, what are the like implied constraints, and what are the non-goals, and then a few more things like a plan, what are the risks for misinterpretation. Yeah. Okay. So it's done the plan, it looks like. But I actually wanted to be a much more in-depth plan. I realized I didn't call the skill. So this is another skill, right? /plan, which like creates a much more in-depth plan for Claude to follow. And so like a lot of what I'm trying to do in this process and like overall when like interacting with an agent is I'm trying to maximize its autonomy, right? Like these models are very, very smart, like super smart, right? Like they can do pretty much anything you ask of them. And that should be your mindset going into something. You just need to figure out how to help it do something. Like you need to figure out like how, like what tools can I give this model? Like what tools, what instructions, what workflows that it has to go through can I give this model to help it accomplish, to help it accomplish what I want it to do. Okay, so right here, you see, so using /plan and not just telling it to plan gave it a much better plan. Cool. So I'm just gonna say yes and bypass permissions. So this should be going now. Yeah, so now it's going. But so what I was saying is that it's all about like helping the agent help you. And a lot of that comes down to like permissions. Like it'll get to a point where you've got the setup like fully like set up, like it has all the tools, and it'll like come back to you for something like spending money, and like you have to figure out how to like adjust the harness so then like in the future it won't come back to you for that. Like if you want it to be able to spend your money. It's all about just like curating the harness like for the agent, so then like it does what you want. Yeah. Now, usually when I use Codex, which is the OpenAI version, it's like clicking around in Chrome for me, which Cloud Code can do as well, but I think Cloud Code does it more in the background. So I'm actually going to tell it to first make the site locally hosted on my computer, and then like once I like it and tell it that I like it, then it'll put the site on my Vercel and like deploy to the actual. Now this is interesting. I haven't given it the photos. Like I haven't like picked out the photos that I gave that like I currently have up on my website. So I'm not sure what it'll do for the photos. But we'll get to see. A lot of times it's like if I'm working on a few things at once, like I'll have a different window open at the same time. So honestly, let's do that here as well. I'm gonna do a Codex CLI window, not a Cloud Code CLI window. Also, yes, sorry, I don't know how familiar everyone is with it, but so I'm using Cloud Code right now through the in the terminal. So it's just this like textual user interface, but it's pretty easy to set up if you're on the Claude website. It'll tell you how. But so I'm gonna open up a Codex chat as well, just because I have more Codex tokens, and I want to make sure that we don't run out of tokens that I don't run out of tokens while building this, because that would ruin the whole point. Loading slow over here. I don't know why. And honestly, since I'm like fully self-taught, this code that it shows me, most of it doesn't mean anything to me, which is kind of funny. But like I found it really doesn't matter. The model's able to do it like pretty much fully itself. So here in Codex, let's just say, like, I don't know, snake game. Yeah. Well, So yeah, I'm telling Codex at the same time, right? Because like a lot of this, like if you're waiting for it to do something, it can take some time. So you can like overlap with multiple different things at the same time. You can have different agents running like concurrently. This will probably be done pretty fast because it's not that complicated. But here I'm telling it, because this is a skill which I haven't brought over to Claude yet. I'm telling it to, like, as it's building this Pac-Man game, right, which I've told it to build, to update this live dashboard, which is pretty cool. So like as it's going, I can like open up this tab on Google and it'll like say what it's doing, as it's doing it. And it'll, like, you can like view its full plan and stuff, and like it'll even like send screenshots of its progress, and there's like a graph of the progress, which is pretty cool. So here's where it says this. Ooh, and then Claude looks like it's made some good progress. So we'll have to check that out. Yeah, but bad UI on this. Wasn't designed like this. This is a pretty new thing. I just made this. Yeah, but we can see it says 0% progress because it hasn't done anything yet, or maybe it has. I don't know. What am I doing? Okay, so yeah, let's take a look at what Claude said. Okay, so this is where it's running. Don't want Chrome to keep opening to them. One of these actually link. It might link. Okay. It's funny that it added. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, GitHub. But yeah, so it added the personal site, which is built. So this site, it added this as one of the entries. More about me. Cool. So it looks like we do have some data here. However, it's 24 hours, which is not ideal. Let's check out these news posts. Looks like they actually open, which is cool. Yeah. So the one thing I do want to do is get these crypto prices updating more. There's obviously more I want to do, right? Like these links aren't clickable. But these are all just things like the like iteration from here on is you just talk to it. You say, hey, like these links aren't clickable. Fix it. And you honestly don't even need to know like that much more. Like you can really like it's made to help you. So if you tell it what you're thinking, like it'll often just be able to solve it. Oh my god, bad typing. So in here, I'm saying that the Claude Code like setup treats the skill slightly differently for the intent verification gate. So I don't want this to happen where it says where it comes back to me. I guess like this is fine, right? Where like then I'd tell it and then it would complete the gate. But then it's talking to me before it's completed the gate. And like the purpose of the gate is to like minimize the like amount of clarification and work that I have to do. So this is actually like a bad usage of the gate. So here, like, since it's something I want to change, I can actually just open up another Claude Code and tell it to change it. So over here, just looking at Codex while this is still going, we can see it's still working on it. Okay, and look at this right here. We've got much better data, updating somewhat frequently. Who knows? But we are seeing, we're seeing this change. Looks like it switched to Coinbase, which is good. Don't want to say that, but again, all these like cosmetic stuff, super easy to change. Yeah. Now the like one last thing that I'll show you is like having it use some of these tools that I've given it. So we can see here the intent verification gate. Things like, looks like it just got fixed. Cool. We can also check up on this. So we can see it's going at around 9% per minute. It's at 15% complete, which is cool. That's big. Okay, so we can see this is still the old one. And again, the new one doesn't have these photos since I never gave it them. But honestly, it's a pretty decent like first shot at it. And like, yeah, like if I were to be keeping this as my like permanent personal website, like within 10 minutes, I'd be able to like just give it these photos. Like I just paste all the photos into that chat. And then I'd say, hey, like I want clicking on this link to expand the personal site section instead of linking to something else, like linking to like some completely different page. Oh, so here we can take a peek at what our other agent was doing. Made that for us. I wonder if we can view it on here. It looks like we can, if we can actually do it. Yeah, I mean, not great, but it works. Just 8-1, sick. Yeah, I mean, like, yeah, that wasn't, but like with some more work on that, that could easily be like a good Pac-Man. A lot of it is just like trying it out. You have to see what works. You have to see like if you're talking to the model, and like something keeps on not working for you, like that's something that can be fixed. You know, if it keeps on coming back to you when you don't want it to, it keeps on not doing all of what you ask it to. Like these are all things that can be fixed. These models can do whatever you want. It's all about figuring out how to help them do it. And just like that, website's been changed. Didn't even have to like open Vercel or GitHub or anything. It just did it. All this is just AI generated on both websites. Yeah. So that's my process. That's how I build. Hopefully it was helpful. I'm not sure. I don't know. This is the first video I've recorded like this. Oh, looks like the camera had some problems, but that is what it is.